everybody, it's Irene and I am here with a new video. I'm not sure if I've ever showed any of you guys this before, but I have this notebook here and it has Ariel in the front along with a quote that says free to be. For those of you that know me, you guys know that I love Ariel and I love mermaids and I love turquoise and I love gray. Okay, so this is a book I have of a lot of my old video ideas. I have those videos recorded onto my old YouTube channel and I was a lot younger when I filmed them. So I'm gonna go through right now and choose a old video and refilm it to be updated now on my new channel with my husband. Except my husband's not going to be in this video because he is at his counseling appointment. So I'm going to start with my very first YouTube video that I have written down. Doesn't mean it's my first YouTube video in general. It's written down. And this one is things people in wheelchairs need to cope with. I'm just going to disregard this now. Every person in their wheelchair is different. Every person's diagnosis is different. Some people are capable of more than others. So I'm kind of only speaking on some ideas of my own and ideas I found along on the internet. So, things people in wheelchairs need to cope with. Filthy hands. Let me tell you, when I was younger, I had a wheelchair and my biggest habit was to wheel my wheelchair on the actual tire. And let me tell you, my hands would get black. But I eventually learned how to hold on to the rim of the chair. So now my hands don't get messed up. But every wheelchair is different. Some have the rim to hold on to, some doesn't. So yeah, so technically my hands don't get as dirty. Getting your clothes caught and everything. So especially if you're a female. Okay, so it's hard sometimes being in a wheelchair and wearing a really pretty flowy shirt because the corner of it gets caught on your wheel, or you happen to be having your jacket and like if you turn, like a lot of times my hood will get stuck on the bars where people could push me on my chair. So I'll go to bend down and it'll like jerk me like if I'm in a seatbelt, like in the car because because of the hood of the jacket. Let's see. Never being able to see yourself in a mirror. And let me tell you, this is not pretend. Like, you go to the stores, you can't see yourself in the mirror. You guys want to know a secret? I can't even see myself in my own bathroom mirror because it's too tall and I'm too short. But here in my spare room, I have a little vanity set up in here where I come and do my makeup that my husband made me for my birthday last year. It's right behind me. I have the vanity tour video. I could link that down below for those of you that haven't seen it. But yeah, Walmart, you can see in the mirror now here where I live in New Mexico because their bathrooms are ADA and they have a lower sink. I don't know if that's for the wheelchair or for kids, but works for both, so whatever. Okay, another thing people in wheelchairs need to cope with, whether you got whatever your case is, but new wheelchair users, is learning how to use public transportation. Depending where you live, of course, depends on what sort of transportation your city has. I live in a city that is growing and I do not like that. But they have buses, and then they have Santa Fe Ride, and then there's the Route Runner. So there's a bunch of different transportation things. You just gotta learn the routes and all that stuff pretty much here. But it depends. I know where you live or what's the situation. So if you can't drive your own car, or you don't have hand controls, or like me, I don't have my driver's license because here where I live, I don't know if it's the same everywhere else, but here where I live, to get a New Mexico driver's license, since I've never driven, I need to do 50 to 60 hours of adaptive driving school, and it's going to be close to $6,000. And that's not even including actually going to get my license. That's just for the classes. So it's really hard. It just depends on where you live and what the regulations are there for you. Okay. Fitting our wheelchair into cars. A lot of times, like, it still messes me today. Like, if I have a friend that I haven't really ever hung out with before, or a friend that I haven't hung out with in a long time, or family members even too, I get really embarrassed when I have to go with them somewhere because I'm so worried that my wheelchair's not going to fit in their car, or that's going to scratch their car, or something's going to happen. But if those people care about you, they need to understand that that's a part of you. Another thing that a lot of people have to cope with that are in chairs is reassuring everybody else that we're actually okay. Like, people are like, well, do you need this? And you're like, no, I got it. Whether you're sick, but sometimes people think just because we're in chairs, we're less capable of things, and we need extra help, which depends, again, on your disability, what your diagnosis is, the help you need. But yeah, that's one thing, is like, you'll have to tell people you're okay, because sometimes if you're not a person that's in pain a lot, they'll think you're in pain, or people just get really concerned, is what it really is. Let's see, another one is having to do a 10-point turn to get out of small places. Oh my gosh, yes. I've been in stores where there's nothing but breakable things, and I get myself in a little corner, and I'm like, why did I decide to try to fit back here? And I'm there, like, looking back in like an inch up, trying to like slowly turn my chair, hold my feet up sometimes so like my feet don't even hit nothing. Yes, so, but you get pretty professional at it. I'm not the best, but I'm pretty good at situations like that. Okay, so another thing, and this one's pretty big, and this is kind of personal, but like I said, I want my channel to be real. I want my channel to give inspiration, so I'm just gonna go through it. Okay, so another thing people in wheelchairs need to cope with is dealing with silly questions. This is like the biggest one, because we get asked some silly things. Like in school, this one guy would always tell me, do you sleep on your wheelchair? Like, do you see me tied to my chair in my bed? Like, come on. No, dude, no, I don't sleep in my wheelchair. They'll ask you, can you drive? Yes, a lot of times some people in wheelchairs could drive. Like I said, it takes some special equipment, special classes sometimes, but for the most part, yes, a lot of people in wheelchairs could drive. Another question you get asked also is, your partner disabled? In my case, my husband carries a mental disability, not a physical disability. He has PTSD and epilepsy, which are seizures caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. So yes, my husband is disabled, but a lot, like, not disabled. He's able-bodied, pretty much. But a lot of times people will think just because you're in a chair, you have to date someone that's in a chair, or you have to date someone that has a disability. No, that's not the case at all. I also have a friend in a chair who is married and has a child with my able-bodied nephew. Can you drink? Yes, we could drink, unless we have like diabetes or some other kind of health conditions where they tell you not to drink. Yes, I'm pretty sure most of us could drink. I choose not to no more. I used to have drinks on occasion, but no, if I do anything now, it maybe be a wine cooler, if that. And can you have sex? For me, it's not having sex, it's making love because he's my husband and I love him. But yes, of course, there's different accommodations and different positioning, and understanding and trust is a big thing that you need to be able to have when you're gonna sleep with someone in a chair, because some of us can have a spasm, which means a part of our body, whether it's a leg, an arm, or hip, or foot, can start moving on its own and tremble, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It's just when you're paralyzed, sometimes your legs have their own movement. Let's see. Constantly worried if your wheelchair is gonna tip. There has been plenty of times where I have been scared to go down certain ramps because I'm scared I'm gonna fall. Like, for example, on the city sidewalks, or if you're going into a store, you know how they put that bumpy stuff on you? I know it's for the blind, but I feel like those actually make it harder for us in chairs to get around, because sometimes they catch our front tires, our coaster tires, and it's just not good. Kelly, please don't jump on the window right now. This cat is in every video. I'm just kidding. I love her though. Or Calico. But that's all I'm going to give you guys for now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. My husband and I do want to do a question and answer video. Yeah, please give this video a thumbs up and we will see you next time. My husband will be back soon with another cooking video within the next week or so.